Hello students, this is Amarati, your tribology teacher. In last session we came to know the introduction part to your tribology, and today I'm going to start the first unit of your tribology subject. Before going to study any subject, you must know what are the course objectives of studying that subject, right? So the objectives of studying tribology is to provide the knowledge and importance of this tribology in especially design, friction, wear, and lubrication aspects. Okay. Then in the second unit, you are going to study how to select the proper grade of lubricant for some specific applications wherever we are having the rubbing operation or interactive surfaces. And to understand the principles of this lubrication regimes in the sense different portions, theories of hydrodynamic and the advanced lubrication techniques. Okay. And to introduce the concept of surface engineering and its importance in tribology, we are going to study in tribology subject. And also finally the fifth unit, you are going to understand the behavior of the tribological components. Okay, tribological components. So if we directly go to the tribology subject, as per the name, if you heard it, tribology, it sounds too different. My God, too different, like tribology. Okay, so actually, the full name of this subject is tribology and bearing design. Actually, so the word tribology is of recent origin, and it is going to dates back to the late 1960s. And the word tribology is originated from a Greek word called tribos. Okay, tribos, which means rubbing processes. Which means rubbing processes. So as per tribos rubbing processes, you may understood what exactly this subject is going to deals with. Okay, so this tribology which deals with the integrated study of friction, wear and lubrication, because wherever we are having rubbing surfaces, we are going to experience friction there. Okay, so it is going to deals with the integrated study of friction, wear and lubrication, and it is a multidisciplinary subject which is going to relate all the design and manufacturing aspects of mechanical engineering. So tribology is the study of friction, wear, lubrication and also design of bearings, because the full name of tribology is tribology and bearing design. If I go in a more further better definition, it is the science and technology of interactive surfaces wherever we are having the relative motion and of relative subjects and practices, right? So actually friction is helpful in many ways. Actually, even if you want to walk, even if you want to run, all the machines which are working, all the vehicles which are moving because of friction, it is actually a good thing. Without friction we wouldn't able to walk, our automobiles won't move. But at the same time, it is the fact to learn that one third of the power which is developed by our automobile is wasted in friction, and this friction is going to cause wearing out of the material, right? So if you've seen in industries, any mechanical industries, wherever we are having machines, wherever we have assembled parts, we when it is operating, it is going to have the friction in between, because if we have two mechanical surfaces which having the relative motion between each other, we are going to experience friction between those things. So the whole one third of the energy which is developed by the industrial machines or any automobile is wasted just because of friction, just because of friction. So if I tell you an example, a 5-ton truck is completely worn out if it is going to lose 5 lbs of its weight due to wearing out of the material. But the phenomenon of this friction wear are actually inseparably connected. We cannot divide them, we cannot remove completely them, but we can be reduce its effect by proper lubrication. So presently, the engineers are seriously trying to solve these tribological problems because as one third of our global production is wastefully drained out by friction alone. Industries, the whole world, industries like metalworking, manufacturing, agriculture, or any mining would save billions of rupees if we have a proper lubrication, and if we reduce friction between two surfaces, and if we reduce the wearing out of the material. We cannot completely eliminate friction and wearing out of the material, but proper lubrication, we can reduce it. Okay, we can reduce it because the whole world economy rests on energy efficiency. Thus this tribology is a supreme important matter today. Okay, so this tribology is, as I said, this is a multidisciplinary subject which is going to include physics, chemistry, fluid mechanics, mathematics, and also elasticity. Okay, so all these problems cause us by friction. So friction is a bad thing, right? Friction is a bad thing. We have to reduce it if it is going beyond some limit. But before that, what are actually the good things, or the good side of the friction, you have to understand. So can you imagine what happens to the whole world if we have zero friction, or if we don't have any friction for 1 minute, just for 1 minute? So I want you to show a video if we have zero friction in this world just for 1 minute, what happens? Okay.
The ground reacts by pushing forward. This video was supported in part by our friends at Monday.com. Find out how it can boost your team after this video. This is What If, and here's what would happen if there was no friction for 1 minute. Friction is what allows us to move and to slow down. Friction is how we pick things up and hold on to them. To be totally honest, there isn't much we could do without friction. A world without friction would be unlivable. But do you think you could function for 1 minute without it? The reason why friction is so important to our world is because it affects everything that's in motion. When any object is moving, slipping, or sliding in one direction, friction is acting in the opposite direction. So, for example, consider something as simple as walking. Your feet are pushing backward against the ground, and the ground reacts by pushing forward on your foot, allowing you to accelerate. But it's a lot easier to walk on concrete than it is to walk on ice, right? That's because ice has a much lower coefficient of friction than concrete. In other words, ice is much smoother than concrete, so it has less resistance, causing your feet to slip and slide. This same example can be applied to vehicles. In fact, car tires are designed with friction in mind to optimize your safety and to make sure that you can turn and stop without skidding. In dry conditions, having a tire that's completely smooth actually gives you better handling, since there's more surface area to generate frictional forces. But the reason why your car's tires probably have treads is to improve traction in wet conditions. When you're driving in rain or snow, even a thin layer of water between the road and your tire can cause you to lose control. That's because there's less contact between the tire and the road, so the forces of friction can't work their magic. But tires with treads have grooves that divert the excess water, so the rubber can connect with the road and you can drive safely. Of course, there are plenty of other ways to test how friction works. Do some redecorating. Play a game of ice hockey or light a match. Fireworks for friction. Yeah, celebrate friction and be grateful it exists, because you don't know what you've got until it's gone for 1 minute. Cut the fireworks. Matches don't work anymore, and you can't use lighters. In fact, you can't pick anything up because your ability to grip and pick things up is due to friction. Anything you were holding on to, the moment friction ceased to exist, would instantly fall to the ground or fly out of your hand. If you were walking when friction disappeared, your legs would still work, but you wouldn't go anywhere. But if you were in a moving vehicle, you'd keep going and going and going and going until you crashed into something. Your brakes are friction. In fact, for that one seemingly endless minute of chaos and destruction, terminal velocity would cease to exist, meaning that anything in motion would be a deadly projectile. At least you wouldn't get rope burn. But that tree, that penny, that runaway train is actually the least of your worries, because within just 1 minute of losing friction, actually within an instant of losing friction, the whole world would just become one big, formless, featureless blob. Considering that everything on Earth is composed of atoms and particles, and that all atoms and particles are held together by friction, well, what do you think you get when you take away friction? Nothing. You lose everything, instantly. So, if you've ever wondered why skidding cars and baseball slides look so cool, well, just be grateful for friction. Yeah, it can make life hard sometimes, but it beats losing literally everything on this planet. So go on, try it for yourself. Take a walk and feel the friction between your feet and the ground. But, you know, there's good friction and then there's awkward friction, like at the workplace. With Monday.com, you and your team will always be on the same page. This intuitive team man.
So, students, we are glad that we have friction. But what happens if friction goes beyond some limits? It is going to cause wearing out of the material. Wearing out of the material in the sense it is going to reduce the size of the material, efficiency of the material. One, the machine elements or any object is going to fail itself. So if it is goes beyond that limit, we have to reduce it with proper lubrication, being engineers, right? So as I said, tribology is derived from the word tribos, which means rubbing processes. If we have a rubbing process, if we are studying the rubbing processes, we have three main areas of the tribology. Well, the first one is friction, second is wear, and third one is lubrication. So what is friction? If we are having two mechanical surfaces, wherever having two rubbing surfaces, where we have two surfaces having the interactive moving surfaces, we are going to experience friction in between those surfaces. So next, what friction causes? It is going to cause wearing out of the material. Wear is a phenomenon of losing out of the material. It is going to wear out the material and decreases the efficiency of the material, which is going to cause the failure of the component. Okay, so these friction and wearing out of the material can be reduced by proper lubrication. So what is lubrication? It is the process of using lubricant to reduce friction and wear in a contact between two surfaces wherever we are having friction and wearing out of the material. So in tribology, we are going to study friction, wear and lubrication in a very proper manner. Okay. So next thing is tribology in design. So why we need tribology in basic step, that is design. Okay. So if you've seen before manufacturing any type of machines, any type of machine elements or any mechanical systems are normally designed by considering strength, endurance and rigidity. We consider, if we are going from a design stage, what we are going to consider? The properties of the material we consider, the strength, endurance and rigidity of the material we consider. But as I said, 70% of the energy which we are producing, or 1/3 of the whole global energy what we are producing, what automobile industries are producing, what mining industries are producing, are wastefully drained out by friction alone. So from the design stage itself, we will not consider tribological aspects to increase our energy efficiency. Okay, so many a times tribological aspects are not considered, either not taken into account or not given any importance in design process, because one third of the energy generated is wasted in friction. To reduce this effect, care should be taken from the design stage itself. And also it is important that more than 70% of the failures in machines or any machine elements are due to tribological problems. So tribological problems needs to be tackled to reduce the 70% of the energy draining and 70% of the failures in the machine. So to minimize the wastage of the energy and to reduce the failures in automobiles, these parameters, friction, wear and lubrication, must be considered from the design stage itself. Design stage itself in the sense, or any mechanical system or mechanical elements in the sense, we have gears, we have rolling contact bearings, we have IC engines, we have automobile wire rope, refrigerations, compressors, etc. So while designing all these components, we have to consider the tribological aspects at the same time to have the energy efficiency and to reduce the failure of the machines. So this is about tribology, why we need tribology in design stage. Well, the next comes is why we need tribology in industries. Okay, so as I said, this tribology plays an important role in modern engineering industries, because industries in the sense we are going to have machines in the sense we are going to have the rubbing surfaces. Okay, because the rubbing occurs between interacting surfaces. So these tribological aspects, friction, wear and lubrications, are completely interrelated. If you reduce friction, it is going to reduce wear. How? By proper lubrication. So what are the benefits we are going to get? What are the benefits we are going to get if we implement tribological aspects in industries? Initially, while it is written here, it is going to reduce the loss of the material due to reduced friction. If we use proper lubrication, a scientifically proven lubrication process for specific application, it is going to reduce the friction of the material. So reduced friction, reduction in the loss of the material leads to increase the service life of the machine elements, because we reduced friction. If we reduce friction, it is going to increase the service life of the machine. If the life of the machine has increased, if it is increased, the productivity will automatically increases. Okay, so production has increased, and also we are going to have the better quality of life of the products. Okay, and as I said, 70% or one third of the energy generated has been wastefully drained just because of friction. If we have taken care of friction, wear and lubrication, it is going to have the reduction in the loss of energy. So previously, if we are having loss of energy one third, it is going to increase at least, or it is going to reduce the loss of the energy. Okay, and also we are going to have the reduction in the risk of human life. We don't have any risking of human life if we apply tribological aspects, tribological processes to the industries. And also definitely we are going to have the better time management if we have a best working machines, where best working industries, where we reduced friction wear with proper lubrication. Okay, so this is about tribology in industries, why we need tribology in industry. All these parameters will holds proper benefits to industries if we apply the tribological aspects to industries. Okay, so next comes is economical consideration in tribology. Economical consideration in the sense how tribological implementations in industries or mechanical, wherever engineering field, technology, how it is going to help us in monetary terms. So implementing tribological practices leads to economical benefits to almost all the industries where we have machines. Okay, so wherever we have machines, wherever we have interactive surfaces, if we implement tribological practices, definitely we are going to have the economical benefits. In the sense, monetary terms, we are going to have the more benefits. So all the fields, like they may be automobiles, that they may be production industries, they may be electrical systems, or locomotives, or any type of power generation, or any machine and machine tools in the industries will going to have benefits if we implement tribological practices in terms of money or economy. Okay, so this friction and wear cause mechanical failures, and maintenance normally have their roots in phenomena based on tribology. Okay, because if I want to reduce friction and if I want to reduce wearing out of the material, all these root causes comes from the tribological aspect. So instead of concentrating more on friction and wearing reduces, we have to concentrate more on tribological aspects. So automatically friction and the wearing out of the material will be reduces. So implementing tribology in industries leads to more efficient and economical growth of the organization by reducing energy loss due to friction, because we reduced friction with proper lubrication. If friction has reduced, the reduction of the energy loss will also increases. Like if we are having 70% of the energy loss due to friction, and we don't have friction right now because we applied tribological aspects, so friction will be reduces and the loss of the energy will also be reduces. Okay, then reducing loss of machine time due to breakdowns. How breakdown occurs? If we have friction causes wearing out of the material. If two rubbing surfaces have a wearing out of the material from both the sides, the dimensional instability will occur, or dimensional imbalance will occur, and the machine will go break down. The efficiency, the life expectancy, the life service life of the machine will reduces, and it is going to have the breakdowns. So reducing the loss of machine time due to breakdowns will be occur if we implement tribological practices to industries. So this is going to have, or this is going to give you the benefits to the industries in monetary terms. Well, the next one is reducing economical loss due to depreciation of machines. So what is depreciation of machines? Well, depreciation in the sense, as per the coefficient of friction, the wearing out of the material, or the level of lubrication what we are applying before manufacturing of the material machine, we said them that this machine is going for 2 years. The life expectancy of this machine will go for 2 years. So after 2 years, that machine is going for depreciation. Means after that it doesn't have any life. But if we have a reduced friction, if we have a less wearing out of the material with proper lubrication, we are going to have the reduced economical loss due to depreciation of the machines even after 2 years. Even after the life of that machine, we are not going to have the depreciation of that machine. If our machines hasn't gone obsolete, we are definitely going for the economical growth. Okay, so in a simple sense, implementing the tribological practices will improve overall productivity of the industries. As let me tell you a practical example, so you'll come to know exactly how applying the tribological aspect will increase the power generation. While it is written here today, if I consider in India itself, today in India the total installed capacity of the power generation is 2,50,000 megawatt. Okay, 2,50,000 megawatt capacities power generation will be installed and if we assume 2% of the power loss in bearing alone, if we assume 2% of the power loss, it is going to have a loss of 5000 megawatt per day. Okay, so if you apply tribological practices, tribological aspects to this industry, and that 2%, 10% of that, at least 2%, if we succeeded to reduce the friction, we are going to save at least 500 megawatt power generation. Okay, so 2% is 5000 megawatt. Even if 10% of 5000 megawatt is saved by virtue of implementation of the efficient tribological practices, it is going to have a result in saving 500 megawatt power. So these are the economical considerations if we apply efficient tribological practices in the industries. Okay, so this is about your objectives of studying this subject. Just introduction to tribology, then what happens if we have zero friction for 1 minute, what are the areas of the tribology, how tribology works in design, tribology, what is the importance of tribology in industry, then what are the economical consideration in tribology. Okay, so in next class I am going to start your lubrication part, basic modes of lubrication, what are the different types of lubrications and how they are going to work if we exactly apply them in a proper manner. Okay, so till that, thank you very much.